Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, we got the rate cuts, right? We were at 4.50%, and now we are at 4.25%. Shout out to all the people that were yelling at me, 2 to 3 weeks ago, stressing out. Guys, this is what I mean. You guys got to relax. When there's overwhelming amount of evidence pointing towards something, you just got to relax and you got to what would you do if you were gambling? If you were a gambling man or woman, what would you do if you saw the news we had 2 to 3 weeks ago? If you had to choose rate cuts or no rate cuts, you would still say, yeah, there's going to be rate cuts. So, guys, listen, sometimes you got to just relax. Okay, just relax. And, everything's going to work out in the end. I promise you guys, I literally promise you guys, everything's going to work out. I've been through this is like my third cycle now. Listen, man, all of this stuff is all inevitable. I'm telling you. Listen, we dropped 0.25%, which is solid. Obviously, it's really, really good. I mean, this is the first time we've dropped since almost a year, right? Since almost a year. So finally seeing some type of momentum. And you know what? They've been saying that they're most likely going to try to drop another 0.25% by the end of the year. Now, I've seen some sources say that there's potentially going to be, another drop on top of that, but I'm not going to go too far ahead, one step at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, the time to get serious is now. The next few months are going to be the most crucial time of your lives. Okay. We're going to have crypto exploding, and this is the time to get a portfolio review. Right? You got to make sure you have the right cryptos. You don't want any old or dead coins, or you don't want anything that can give you little profits, right? So we provide a portfolio review. We've also been smashing it with the high probability meme coins. We hit an 11x, an 8x, and 5.5x in recent times. We also provide a weekly report on the crypto data, on the crypto analysis, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, on other altcoins as well. You get all this and a bunch more other benefits. Highly recommend joining the private community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some money. Now, this was the instant market reaction, right? Because the news came out at 2 o'clock. And if we go to the 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, right, we go find 2 o'clock, which is going to be 14. I mean, we can see, right? It was nothing too crazy in terms of the minute candles. I mean, what we pumped, mm, like what, $500 in a minute, right? And then it was kind of choppy. Then we kind of sold off. We kind of went from 16,000 to just sub 15,000 Bitcoin. And now we're kind of just going sideways and recovering and looking to push further up. So, the instant reaction wasn't that crazy in terms of Bitcoin. In terms of gold and stuff, I mean, it was actually a pretty big reaction. I mean, look at this, right? Look at this. This is the 1 minute candle before, right? It wicked and then it dumped all the way at one point to it's $3,650. And then it recovered at $3,680. So it actually moved a lot. Like that's a lot for gold. Okay. That is a lot for gold. So, the markets had different types of reactions based off the pair. USD JPY, it went down 40 points, which is nothing too crazy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, overall, it is looking fairly solid. Of course, it is bullish news, right? Getting a rate cut is bullish news. And, some people believe we should be at 1%. Some people believe we should be at 2%. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of upside in terms of rate cuts and where they should be, right? So I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really excited. Now we are looking to be breaking out of a zone, right? We did kind of break and now we had a retest. And in terms of candle closes, things are looking fairly solid, right? This daily candle is nothing too crazy. I mean, it's actually really, really good. It's really, really good. I don't expect pumps just yet on this daily candle specifically because the purpose of this daily candle is most likely going to be the retest because yesterday we broke out. Today we are retesting. And Thursday we should see some kind of pumps. Honestly, I thought there's gonna be more manipulation, but I could be wrong. Something like ICP, I'm looking for certain lows to get targeted. Um, I'm looking for other lows to get targeted on different pairs. So maybe it will come, maybe it won't. We'll have to obviously monitor everything. I thought crypto was gonna have a much bigger reaction just when the news came out, and nothing really happened, right? Nothing really happened. So we will be looking at things. I will do an overall market overview because I haven't done these in a while. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of Bitcoin, we are under a huge support right now. So look, obviously, once we tap it, we're having a retest and we're looking to be breaking through. And I believe once we break through, I mean, this should really be clear as day that we're going to be going at least to 120,000. I say at least because there is a institutional candle right over here, clear as day. And of course, from there, we could see some sell-off reaction back to 117. And at that point, we're going to have to monitor everything. In terms of the higher time frame, the September monthly candle looks good, especially if we continue to go up. It's going to look really, really good. The 3 month candle looks fairly solid as well, right? These next set, like 10 to 13 days, are going to be the it's going to be really the decider of how well this 3 month candle is going to close. If we close higher and higher, even around 120K, 123, 121K, then the 3 month is going to look great. The monthly is going to look great. And we should continue to see overall upside momentum. If there is going to be a big rejection, ladies and gentlemen, right? For some reason, there's going to be a big rejection, then we probably could even see momentum back down to the mid 90s before then we reattempt to go to the upside. And that is just the truth, right? That is just the truth. So it really just depends on the next 2 weeks practically to see how September closes. And that's going to be a huge indicator, a huge, huge, huge indicator. Okay. Right now, we are kind of getting similar vibes to what we had over here, right? Where we started to recover. We had some weekly candles that were fairly slow, fairly whatever, but then the next following weeks, they continue to push. So if we get that type of thing again, then that won't bother me. That won't bother me. It means we'll just continue to push to the upside. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin dominance has just been going down over the last few weeks, which is obviously what we want for alts to get really, really triggered. Right now, it is looking fairly good. I won't even lie to you. Right, when we go and look at this, if we take away this, do something like this, boom, right, a trend line. We are currently below it, right? We retested off it. We're going below, and what we really want to see for alts to get triggered is a continuation to the downside, right? A continuation to the downside. And the next big zone, ladies and gentlemen, is roughly around 54%. So alts should see some type of life, with quarter four popping up, with the rate cuts happening, with Bitcoin dominance, with Bitcoin dominance going down, we really should see alts finding some type of life. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, Turbo has a little bit of a positive reaction. We go and look, right? It's kind of been going sideways, now slowly going up. Nothing too crazy in terms of the market. We will look at something else, ladies and gentlemen. The total market cap, right? The total market cap, everything is actually looking very, very good. For me, it is primed to practically continue pushing up higher. So I do expect more liquidity in the markets. We did break out of this zone right over here. Where we can see there is this nice big zone. I don't know why I have that arrow, but yeah, we have this, right? We had this kind of triangle. We broke through the triangle. We had a little bit of a sell-off, nothing too crazy. And we're kind of looking to just consolidate here. This overall zone is looking to consolidate to then continue to push higher and higher, which is what we want, right? We want there to be more money in the markets. We want there to be more pumps. People are anticipating nice returns. And ladies and gentlemen, as long as you are patient, as long as you bought in fairly decent positions, you will be rewarded. Actually, if you bought in even at the tops for some coins, you should be still fine, to be honest. Obviously, depends what crypto projects we're talking about. But for anything that's decent, you should be seeing your money recovered. So yeah, look, overall, ladies and gentlemen, things are looking solid. Things are looking fantastic. I'm super excited to see how the next couple of months play out, I should say. Let's just assume things are going to be going higher and higher in quarter four. Our yearly candles should look very, very good, right? Assuming quarter four goes fairly good. And yeah, that would look good here. For Bitcoin, it would look good, right? If we remove the drawings for Bitcoin, it would look good. For literally almost anything, it would look really, really good. But that is ultimately it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.